Attention passionate Montreal, Canadiens fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the Atlantic Division and it could shake up the entire conference. We're talking about a direct impact on Montreal Canadiens' path to another Stanley Cup run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Montreal Canadiens fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Montreal, Canadiens fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying attention to what's happening around the NHL lately, you already know that the Montreal Canadiens are actively working to reshape their roster. It's no secret that the Habs have been in a bit of a rebuilding phase, trying to find the right pieces to push them back into playoff contention, and perhaps even beyond. And it's not just about adding talent, it's about strategic moves that balance short-term impact with long-term development. This season, we're seeing the Canadiens being aggressive, making bold moves, and there's a lot of talk about potential trades, new faces, and how these could change the team's trajectory. One of the most interesting rumors circulating right now involves Heavy.com's proposed trade that could see Montreal acquiring Yegor Chinakhov from the Columbus Blue Jackets. Now, Chinakhov is a name that has been gaining some traction lately, and for good reason. He's a 24-year-old Russian winger, standing 6'1" and weighing around 201 pounds, so he's got a good size for the NHL and has shown some offensive potential with the Blue Jackets. In the 2024-25 season, he tallied 15 points in 30 games, which isn't mind-blowing but certainly indicates he can contribute offensively when given the ice time. What makes him intriguing for Montreal is his versatility. He's a winger with a mix of skill and physicality, capable of playing in the top 9, and he's still relatively young, meaning he could develop further under the right system. But what's really interesting about this potential deal isn't just Chinakhov's addition. It's that Montreal would be shedding some salary in the process, about $4.7 million in cap space, which is a significant move for a team that's been slightly over the cap. This would give the Canadiens more flexibility to make other moves before the trade deadline or in the offseason, whether that's adding another impact player or bolstering their depth. The Blue Jackets, on the other hand, would be acquiring a solid third-pair defenseman in Arbor Hekaj, who's 6'4", 240 pounds, and known for his physical style of play, as well as a veteran winger like Josh Anderson, a player with a lot of grit and offensive upside. Anderson, for those who have followed his career, was originally drafted 95th overall in 2012 by Columbus, and he's been a key figure for Montreal. Last season, he scored 27 points in 81 games, and his physical presence on the ice is undeniable. He's the type of player who can change the tone of a game with his hits and his tenacity. Hekaj, meanwhile, is a younger player, just 24, who's made a name for himself as a tough, physical defender with a knack for hitting and blocking shots. The Blue Jackets would be getting a player like Anderson, who can bring a veteran presence and scoring ability, along with a promising young defender in Hekaj. But here's where things get interesting. Chinakhov reportedly isn't happy with his situation in Columbus. He's spoken out about some misunderstandings with the coaching staff, specifically with head coach Dean Evason. Chinakhov has expressed a desire to move on, stating that he's open to a trade and eager to find a fresh start elsewhere. That's a crucial detail because it suggests that the player himself is motivated to make this move happen, which could accelerate negotiations or make the trade more appealing for both sides. Chinakhov's willingness to leave Columbus and the Blue Jackets' interest in clearing cap space and acquiring impact players make this a very plausible scenario. Now, if we shift our focus to the Montreal side of things, it's clear that the organization is not just passively watching these developments. Head coach Martin St. Louis, who's been praised for his excellent communication skills and ability to connect with younger players, has been instrumental in fostering a positive environment. The Canadiens' management clearly has faith in him, having extended his contract through to the end of the 2026-27 season. And you can see this in how the team is playing. There's a renewed sense of belief, a desire to compete, and a willingness to take risks to improve. Kaiden Guhle, one of their young defenders, has spoken highly of St. Louis' motivational style, highlighting how his unique approach, sometimes quirky, sometimes inspiring, pushes the team to elevate their game. When a coach can motivate like that, especially with young players trying to learn and grow, it makes a big difference. And that's exactly the kind of environment Chinakhov would thrive in, especially if he's looking to develop his game and showcase his offensive skills. Moving out a player like Josh Anderson could also be a strategic move to open up roster space and help Montreal approach the salary cap ceiling more comfortably. Right now, the Canadiens are about $9 million over the cap, which limits their flexibility. By trading Anderson, they could free up a significant chunk of cap space, allowing them to pursue other acquisitions, perhaps a second-line center, something they've been openly interested in. Reports from David Pagnotta confirm that Montreal is actively exploring trade options, and Anderson is a player that could be on the chopping block, especially since he owns a no-trade clause on a 5-team list, meaning the Canadiens would need his approval. On the other side, the Blue Jackets are looking to spend and add impact players. According to Puckpedia, they have over $3 million in cap space, giving them the flexibility to take on contracts like Anderson's or Hekej's, depending on what the Canadiens are willing to part with. The possibility of Montreal moving Mike Matheson in a trade is also floating around, especially with Struble, who recently signed a 2-year extension, being seen as a strong candidate for the third pairing. If Matheson were to go, it could further free up cap space and bring in a younger, more cost-effective defender. What's really fascinating about this entire scenario is how it reflects the Canadiens' broader strategy. They are clearly not just looking for quick fixes, but aiming to build a balanced, competitive team that can contend for the playoffs and hopefully a Stanley Cup. They've been patient, but now they're making strategic moves that indicate a sense of urgency and a clear vision. Chinakhov's potential addition, combined with the possible trades involving Anderson or Matheson, could reshape the team's core and set the stage for a serious push in the upcoming seasons. Of course, all of this remains in the rumor mill for now, but the signs point to some significant changes ahead. The Canadiens have a talented core of young players, including Kaiden Guhle, and under Martin St. Louis' leadership, there's a renewed sense of optimism. Fans are eager to see how these moves unfold, and if they come to fruition, it could mark a new chapter in Montreal's quest to reclaim their status among the NHL's elite. Pause here, just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Montreal Canadiens news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. So what does all of this mean for you, the passionate Canadiens fan? It's exciting, isn't it? We're seeing a team that's not afraid to shake things up, to make bold moves to position themselves for future success. Whether or not the trade with Columbus goes through, it's clear that Montreal is serious about building a roster that can compete and win. Chinakhov, Anderson, Hekej, and even the possible departure of Matheson, all these pieces are part of a bigger puzzle, one that the Canadiens are intentionally trying to solve in their favor. It's about building a team with not just talent, but also character, grit, and the right chemistry to go far in the playoffs. And if you've been a fan through the ups and downs, you know that Montreal's history is filled with moments of resilience, incredible comebacks, and legendary players that have left a mark on hockey history. This team is no different. They're in the midst of a rebuild, yes, but it's a strategic one, guided by a coach who inspires belief and a front office that's not afraid to make tough decisions. The potential addition of Chinakhov, a player eager to prove himself in the NHL, could be a game-changer, injecting some youthful energy and offensive punch into the lineup. Meanwhile, the trade speculation involving Anderson and Matheson reflects Montreal's ongoing efforts to balance their roster, manage the salary cap, and create room for future stars to emerge. It's a delicate process, but one that shows the Canadiens are serious about their long-term vision. Fans should be excited and optimistic, because these moves, if they materialize, could set the team up for sustained success. It's not just about immediate results, but about laying the foundation for a competitive, deep playoff run in the seasons to come. So keep your eyes peeled, because the NHL trade deadline is approaching, and Montreal is right in the thick of the action. Whether they pull off this trade with Columbus or not, the message is clear. The Canadiens are actively reshaping their future. And as fans, we get to witness this exciting chapter unfold, cheering for every small victory and hopeful for that big breakthrough that could return Montreal to its rightful place among hockey's elite. The passion runs deep, and this team's story is far from over. Stay tuned, stay passionate, and let's see what the future holds for the Montreal Canadiens. And now, Montreal Canadiens fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Montreal Canadiens. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Montreal Canadiens news.